Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan, and in today's lecture we are going to discuss about inheritance. First of all, as we have already discussed this thing in our probably the first unit, that inheritance is one of the most important aspect or the concept of OOPS approach, and why it is important we are about to see. Okay, so inheritance is one of the most important concept of OOPS approach. It is a process. What is actually the inheritance? So it is a process of creating new classes, or we say derived classes from the base or existing classes. So we are somehow using the existing classes, means the existing data and the functionalities, to create new classes. But the question is why we are using existing classes when we can create new classes. Okay, so why we are choosing to inherit some qualities or the functionalities of the previously created classes, right? The question is why. And if you know the answer, then you would understand what is inheritance in depth. So the answer of why is because we want to use the capabilities of the previously created classes, because we want new classes to inherit all capabilities of base classes, plus not only that, plus enhancement of existing capabilities can also be added. So that would be great, right? Suppose if we have created some task in one class, okay, and we are creating another class, and we know that this class should also provide the features or the functions the previous class has already has. Okay, so in that case we don't need to redefine those tasks in the new class. We can simply inherit that class, okay, and redefine, or we can define our new methods in that class, okay, in the new class. So it would be more powerful. You will be aware about it, what I'm trying to say by this example. Just look at this example. So there is a base class, and in that we have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. There would be some logic in the task 1, there would be some logic in task 2. This is a derived class from the base class. Okay, this is not the actual syntax to use base class or your derived class, but it is to understand the concept of derived and the base class. Okay, so derived class is using task 1. It means derived class is capable. So focus on that. This is a semicolon. It means we are not defining this method, we are calling this method. Okay, so this method resides in base class. So why we are able to call these methods? Because derived class is able to access these methods. That's why derived class is capable of executing these methods or previously created functionalities in the base class. Okay, this important thing, the modification of task 1, if you pay little attention, this is open and close parenthesis. It means uh, there would be some logic inside it. We are not calling it, and it is the modification of T1. So let's say derived class realized that I want the syntax of the method and the signature of the method same, just I want the logic little different. Okay, so what I'll do, I will not use it or call it, but I'll redefine it. That is called overriding, method overriding. Okay, task 3 not defined here, not defined here, but here it means it is a new method. So if I want to say these are inherited method from the base class, this is actually, this method belongs to derived class, but it is a overriding method of task 1. Okay, because we are using the same signature of name and the return type or the parameters, then this, if all these are same, then we would say it is a overridden method or method overriding. Okay, this is a new method. So if I want to name them, then these are this functionality is called method overriding. This is actually a new method, and these are inherited method. And one more thing, uh, whatever base class we are going to inherit, that class also called super class. Generally we use this term, and Derived class is also called subclass. So we are going to use superclass or subclass instead of base class and derived class. So you don't need to get confused. Okay, they both are same. Superclass and the base class are same. Subclass and derived classes are same. Okay, so guys, this is about the base class and the derived class. And base class is sorry, the derived class is actually inherited from the base class. So we will see the actual syntax how to inherit the functionality of a base class in a derived class. So for that we will implement a code. So let me open that code and I'll discuss that code with you. Okay, so here is a parent class. Okay, it is a base class. We will get to know why we are saying it is a base class. Here we have a string parent name, and there is a one method. It is saying it print something whatever you pass as a string in this function. But this is a method of parent class. Okay, another class is a child class. Let's focus on the data and the function. So the data is child name and the function is print message. Okay, so if the child method print message will be called, then this message would print over the screen or the console. Okay, but here there is a little change in the code, right? We are using colon and then public and then the base class name. So this is the way to inherit a class. We use colon, we use the access modifier. We are going to learn, we are soon going to discuss probably in the next lecture about these access modifier. Okay, and also this is the base class. So to inherit a class, we first use colon, then the access modifier, here it is public, then the base class name. And what is the use of that, we will get to know. Okay, because we are not doing it without a reason. Okay, as we have understood that if a child class is the derived class, right? So this is also called the child class or subclass or the derived class. Okay, so derived class can also access the functionality of the base class like task1 and task2. What it means, it means if I create an object of child class, it is not only able to access print method because it is its own member function. Okay, but also this method and this data as well. That is the beauty of inheritance. So without even writing this code, I can access it. Okay, that's why we are using the inheritance. So one thing is clear, we are using it because we want to enhance the capability of the derived class by using the existing qualities, data, or the capabilities of the class we have created in a system. Okay, so let's see the execution flow. We have created a main method. In that we have created a child object. So child object would be of this class. Okay, so object child name, so I'm accessing the data and I'm setting the value of this child name. So far everything is fine. Child method, this is the, if I call this method, this would definitely print this value. Okay, because it would say this is a child print message method. Okay, because I'm calling this method through this object. But what if I use the same object and call this method? Okay, will there be an error? No. Why? Because I'm passing the same value. Okay, I'm passing a string. Okay, this is a string and there is a method, I can call it. But here the magic is I'm not creating the object of the parent class, I'm using the object of derived class, child class, okay, or the subclass. Okay, I'm not using the object of the parent class, I'm directly using the object of child class and the method inside the superclass or the parent class. Okay, or the base class. And this is simple string, so it is not a big deal. Okay, so what happens if I execute it? Let's see the output, then we will discuss. Okay, so it is saying this is a child. It means it has executed the child method and the name is printed by this parent method, and I have accessed it using the child object, not the parent object. Why I am able to do that? Because child is a derived class or a child class or a subclass of parent class, right? So if a parent class has some functionalities, then the child class or the derived class or the subclass can access that functionality if it is available. Okay, so this is about inheritance. So the basics of inheritance we have understood, but there is still one question that we should be clear about: why we need inheritance. Okay, so the one thing is very clear: when we want to use the existing functionalities or the capabilities of the classes, and we don't want to redefine them. Okay, because we have not redefined these functionalities, I'm using the existing class functionalities in the data itself. Okay, then it would say the child class is very powerful. Okay, because it is inheriting the functionalities of the base class. Okay, and it has also some other functionalities. Okay, so two types of functionality, so it would be an enhanced version of base class. Okay, so this is one thing we are very clear about it. We are trying to understand the need of inheritance in OOPS and why we say it is a most important concept in OOPS. So let's focus on that. So code reusability, what it means by saying code reusability, because we are not creating or redefining the existing capabilities or the tasks or the functionalities of the class in a new class. We can directly use it by using the child object or the derived object name. Okay, so definitely when we say it is a code reusability, we are saying it is the reusabilities of the existing functionalities. Okay, easy to maintain, definitely. Let's say there is a method in a base class m1, and I want to make some changes in the method. So what I'll do, I'll override it. Okay, and make the changes. I redefine that method. I'll use everything same, the signature, parameter, return type, everything would be same, just the logic would be different. Okay, so it would be super easy and easy to maintain. The next thing is fast implementation. Definitely, when we are using the existing functionalities, then we don't need to create the existing functionality again and again. That then definitely the project would be very fast. Efficient. Why it is efficient? Definitely when it is all happening because of the reusability of the code. So the project would be very efficient. We don't need to spend too much time on creating the redundant functionalities again and again. We just create it one time and we can inherit those capabilities and the qualities of a class again and again. So guys, in today's lecture we have done with the what is inheritance and what is the need of inheritance. In the next lecture we will discuss about the types of inheritance. Okay, and if time permits, we will also cover a problem called diamond problem in multiple inheritance. Okay, so thank you so much guys for today's lecture.